Hey guys, we're reviewing the 2025 Chevy Suburban. It has been refreshed, and I just find it kind of ironic. We just moved to the suburbs, sort of, essentially. Our first brand new house, that's where we're building this, with the new Suburban. Hey guys, make sure to stay to the end because we're gonna search for deals for this refreshed Suburban in my area, and then we'll also rank it with all the cars I've reviewed so far in 2025. Where will it end up? Stay to the end. But I think the biggest update for what you guys will see is going to be these front daytime running lights as well as the turn signals. So let me go and turn them on for you. Ooh. And of course these updates are on the Tahoe as well if you don't need the extra long bus edition, which is the Suburban. So sequential turn signal, but you see when it turns on, the daytime running lights turn off on the side that the turn indicator is on. So this is actually the RST trim, which is like the sportiest trim. There are 6 trim levels: LS or LT, RST, Premier, High Country, Z71. That's an off-road. That's what it was. But we come to the side. This is the first time you can get 24-inch wheels on this RST. It does come stock with 22-inch wheels, but these 24s, they look pretty fantastic. If you get the base LS or LT models, those actually come with 18-inch wheels, which I might go that route. We'll talk about that at the end to see what kind of deals we can find maybe on the base trims as well. Of course, you can get this in rear wheel drive. Before we get too far back, while we're at the front of the vehicle, let's talk about the powertrain. You have 3 different powertrain options. Standard is a V8, a 5.3 liter V8. This bad boy has the 6.2 liter V8. It's got 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. All of them have 10-speed auto, but there's a third powertrain option, which, you guys, this is a huge engine. I'm standing right next to it, and I haven't had to like raise my voice. It's amazing that this engine is this quiet. But there's also an inline-6 3-liter turbo diesel. Yeah, you're probably going to want that if you're taking long trips and towing a lot. So yeah, I can tow up to 8,000 or a little over 8,000 pounds, and that hood close was very, very impressive. It felt really luxury. I love the running boards here. They're essentially necessary for the children to get in and out. I like the smart access on all 4 doors, the blacked out Suburban logo. You got the side camera here, so this does have a 360 camera, which is super awesome. Parking this behemoth. Also, you have a little shark fin antenna here, black roof rails. I mean, this might be the biggest, the longest vehicle we've ever reviewed, Cass. It's absolutely huge. So coming to the back, so you can see like this really cool turn signal here. These turn signals kind of remind me of maybe the Blazer EV. Obviously this is not an EV with quad tip V8 exhaust tips, but yeah, pretty cool sequential turn signal from the back. More Suburban lettering here, more cameras, two cameras here because you actually have a digital rear view mirror, which is a part of the Super Cruise package. All right, we'll talk more about Super Cruise when we're driving. There's that big RST badge. Quad tip exhaust. Let's check for that spare tire. There's a full-size spare tire right underneath. Let's get into the cargo area. This is fully loaded with children. I should have let you guys know that we are reviewing this with kids. And this is probably the most usable body on frame SUV we've seen, with it fully loaded with children. Because look at all this space. This is essentially as much space we have in our minivan, but it's a much bigger vehicle. It can tow a lot. Abe has a expiration date on him. We need to start moving. You can press those buttons back here to fold down the rear seats, which I'm not going to do to smash the kids. You also have AC power here. I don't know how much it is. I'll have to look it up because it doesn't say on the plug, but hopefully it's probably around 400 watts or something of power. Let's quickly get on the inside. I'll take it from you, Cass, because it's going to get tight. Now, we don't have sunshades here. We do have privacy glass. Gigi may have hit the window there. And nice materials, little red stitching at the top, big Bose speaker grill there. Nice stitching here on the armrest. There's Gigi girl. And these seats, well, they're pretty easy to maneuver. You see all this leg room here. Abe has plenty of room with his rear-facing seat. We have climate control back here, more AC power, which is fantastic. 2 USBs, even heated outdoor seats here. We get in the back seat. The kids have vents on top, which is huge. They have massive cup holders. They have USB-Cs back there. Vent, Maggie's saying there's a vent there, but that's more for cabin pressure, I think, because your real vent's up top, right, Maggie? The AC coming out of there. So I love the big windows in the back, just making it feel less like a dungeon in the very back. And we also have a panel roof. Gigi's reaching up for her vent there, which is great for rear piece facing seats too. Abe has his own, you know, vent. So let's go ahead and get on the front. Pretty much the same materials on this door as it was in the back seat, except we have memory seats here, which is a nice feature. Head-up display, of course, which goes well with the Super Cruise. We're not gonna play kids. Chill. Gigi, stop reclining the seat, please. Okay. All right. Let's go and open this panel roof. There we go. One touch and it goes all the way back. Here's our digital rear mirror, which looks pretty amazing, right? Look, that's where we live now. It's amazing.
The jungle?
Yeah, we live in the jungle. It's crazy. We do have a wireless charger here, a couple USBs. This truck's been lived in this week. There's probably been a casualty or two of veggie straws and Cheez-Its. So, but we need to get rolling, so we're gonna hook up the cameras and start talking about the interior as we drive. All right, we do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this new 17.7-inch screen. We also have climate control touch functions built in at the bottom. A lot of manufacturers started to do that. However, thankfully we have physical primary controls here. It's like the touchscreen is a backup. However, the heated seats, the only way I know of turning them on is through this button on the touchscreen. Also, I do have a shortcut though to my 360 camera, which is nice. So I have a real physical button for it. I don't have to fly through the menus to get to my physical 360 camera, which is quite nice. But if I press it again, it doesn't close it. So I still have to use a touchscreen to get out of it. All right, Cass, what are your thoughts about this interior? Keep in mind, this is the sporty trim. You'll have different colors and things like on a High Country or Z71 for
Yeah,
example.
I definitely can tell it's like sporty, right? From just like looking at it.
Yeah.
But I like the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little shiny. We're not the biggest fans of shiny just because of Florida.
You're right.
But
it's glossy here.
It's not terribly glossy.
No.
It's a little shiny on the steering wheel.
Yeah, I have been blinded by these silver accents on steering wheels before, and it just has to be the certain time of day for it to happen. It's not blinding me right now.
But the interior really speaks truck to me.
Oh yeah, this is a truck through and through for sure. I do have a heated steering wheel too, which is an option.
Heated steering wheel.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. But, you know, I think this truck, when you option it to this RST, it's like $85K and I don't have ventilated seats. So I feel like when you're spending this much money, you might as well just get a different trim that has the ventilated seats, which is probably like the Premier or the High Country, for example. So that's kind of a miss for us here on this RST, is no ventilated seats. However, they are perforated and they help us breathe fairly well for leather seats.
Considering it's not, that's good.
Cass, you like big trucks. How does this feel for you in terms of other big trucks we've driven or SUVs?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I feel like the windows are bigger.
Okay.
There's not that many blind spots. You know, in some trucks they have those huge paneled blind spots. I really like that. I can like really envision myself driving a car like this. It's like big and it feels big, but it also feels not intimidating for some reason.
It's not intimidating, and I'm surprised a little bit because it's so huge. And we have driven, I drove recently the 26-foot U-Haul. Oh yeah. And like this feels like a Miata compared to it. Cass, what's the comfort like to you?
Pretty comfy.
How's the ride feel?
All right. So it doesn't have massage seats. Whatever.
Doesn't have massage seats.
I can move on. But otherwise, it's comfy.
Yeah.
The ride is nice. It's
really
not
smooth.
Super bumpy.
No, it's really
It's
smooth.
not loud, which is surprising.
Now, this RST is equipped with air ride suspension as well as adaptive dampers. So the ride quality in here is almost Cadillac, like Escalade. It's almost up there.
Oh, wow.
Right, and of course the Escalade is based off the Tahoe, which obviously this is too. It's all in the same family. And so like the brakes here, nice and smooth and predictable. The V8 is very lively and it sounds amazing. And you have nice exhaust tips on the back end to get that extra sound, but also, you know, to prove its performance as well.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Yeah.
It's a good.
This is going to be one we don't want to give back. However, Fuel economy.
Well,
Let's pull
you
up.
said it wasn't as bad, or like it's not that much more than our van.
Well, it depends. Like if we're doing a lot of car line and idling a lot, we're probably going to be around 13 or 14 miles per gallon,
Gotcha.
where the van is around 18.
Okay, well that's a big difference.
So it is a big difference. You might be saying, oh, it's only 5 mile per gallon difference, but that's huge when you're starting at 13.
Yes.
So on the highway, this might be able to get like 20 miles per gallon.
Wow.
And this would be an amazing road trip car. And it's so quiet.
Yeah,
in
it's
here.
comfy.
We don't have dual pane glass.
I love how
It's very
easy
quiet.
it is for the girls to like move around. It's very Armada-like.
Yes.
I mean, in the Armada, I can stand up. I can't stand up on this one, but
You can't stand up in here?
I bet it's not that bad. I'm not crouching like super low because it doesn't have a lot of like gadgets and gizmos on the roof.
Right. There's no like drop down DVD screens.
Right, which is nice. I don't like hitting my head on those.
No, yeah. We have that in our van.
Yeah, tough.
And we've bumped a head or two on it.
Yeah, but I like there's just so much room in the back. It's so nice.
So nice. Okay, green arrow, bud. He's still checking his periffs. All right, let's go ahead and pedal down.
Oh, brother.
Camry's all over the place.
I know, careful. That guy's...
I want to get past him. I don't trust that dude. It's not fast.
No, but it's a big car.
No, yeah, it's huge. It's a bus.
It's a
It
bus.
sounds good.
Yeah, it
Maybe
sounds
it
cute.
sounds good, yeah. And it's smooth.
It
It
moves
sounds
well.
good. It's smooth. Super Cruise. Well, we're not on the freeway right now, but we can play with it a little bit. Oh, no, I can't because it requires a Super Cruise subscription.
Oh.
So that's frustrating to me personally because it's like a $4,000 upgrade just for the Super Cruise. That's an upfront price, and then you're going to need a recurring subscription for the Super Cruise. The Super Cruise is level 2 autonomous driving. So if you're doing long distance road trips, I could actually see myself paying for it.
Yeah.
But in suburbia and city driving, it's almost worthless to have it. So that's frustrating. I thought we would be able to test Super Cruise today. It'll still have cruise control. There it is. It's set at 52. It tells me on my head-up display it's set at 52 or 54 now in green, which is nice. This head-up display, by the way, huge font. It's fantastic. One of my favorite head-up displays. I know you can't see it, but it's
nice.
incredible. It's a really, really solid head-up display. I have a smaller, I think this is about a 10-inch screen behind me. You can customize it. You can put fuel economy up there. You can put different screens with this button. Honestly, I have not been playing with it that much. You can put your full maps up there, for example. And you can put your Android Auto up there, which is really nice to put your Android Auto up there as well, right? It's good that it has Google built in. I didn't mention that. So if I go to help me cast, why don't I see
What are we
Google
looking
Maps?
for?
It wasn't
Google
on the main
Maps.
screen. It was on a
Okay.
separate screen. So you see the Google Maps takes up like the whole screen. But if I get to my Android Auto, it takes up a much smaller portion of the screen. I can still make it bigger.
Oh,
but that's a great
nice.
thing. Yeah, that's a great thing about like a massive screen like this, a 17+ inch screen, is that even when it's cropped in for certain apps like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's still massive. And then I have the redundancy if I want it over here, which is just fantastic. So tech in here, I'm really happy about, and I love that you can just turn off the radio too with this button.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
that's kind of nice. I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm still in cruise control, and we're just pacing behind this Camry, and it's stopping. The Camry stopping. So the cruise control is really good here, despite it not having the Super Cruise subscription service on here. So let's go ahead and cancel that cruise control because we need to turn. I don't want it to accelerate into the stoplight.
Oh, there's a Skillets here. Oh, there's a tacos and tequila.
Yeah, TNT's over there.
South Street.
There's a South Street there too?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Wow. It's a different lifestyle out here.
Different world. I think there's like a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A's over here.
Oh, it's over
to
here.
Yeah, next to the Aldi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As we just came away from a stoplight, I guess the only thing that irks me about this vehicle is no auto brake hold. I can't find it in here. There's so many buttons over here for your, your four-wheel drive select, your camera control, downhill sync control, parking sensors, all that stuff. I have electronic parking brake, but I still don't have auto brake hold. So when I come to a stop, I have to either put it into park or just keep my foot on the brake, which I know this is a minor or just a stupid complaint for a lot of people, but for me it's important. We sit at stoplights here in Naples for eons, and being able to just get your foot off the brake is a luxury, and that luxury is missing from this $80,000+ truck.
Unacceptable.
It is. It really is. All right, so I'll go ahead and put a picture of our Sam's Club run in here just to give you guys an idea of all that cargo. Let's go back into the office. I mean, this is a fantastic family vehicle. It feels like a second home. It feels so big. There's so much room for our kids, more than our minivan in some ways.
Yeah.
If it had sliding doors, it would be like a dream come true, but that'll never happen. But and if it got 40 miles a gallon, right? There's no perfect vehicle. The Suburban is fantastic for what it is.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. It's so comfortable. It's so accommodating.
I mean, I can understand why there's so many Suburban moms. Like,
oh yeah,
it's such a thing. Moms driving Suburbans.
I know. This is a vehicle that, like, you're not on the loaner agreement, which we probably need to fix. We need to get you to drive more cars. But this is a vehicle that you're like, I would want to drive it. You don't feel intimidated by it.
Right. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I get the hype now.
You get the hype. The hype's real. The Suburban's amazing. So let's head back to the office and close it out. If we're looking at RSTs in my area, again, they can be equipped in so many different ways. It's hard just looking at the price tags of them, but it looks like they are transacting under sticker price. So it's $74K MSRP, which means it's probably rear-wheel drive, which all-wheel drive or 4x4 is like a $4,000 upgrade. So when we're looking at 71, it's probably the base 5.3 engine, which I would be happy with as well. Fuel economy is not going to be much better, if at all, on the smaller engine, but it's going to save you. I want to say, like, if you get the 5.3 instead of the 6.2, it's like an $8,000 price drop. And then if you, like I said, if you don't get the ride height, air ride suspension, adaptive dampers, if you don't get the Super Cruise, like, you should be able to get one of these around 70, maybe less, for the RST anyways. All right, now RST, it's cool looking, and the available 24s, which I think the 24s are over $2,000 upgrade. I would not be, me personally, like, you guys probably know by now, I'm kind of like bang for your buck sort of person. So I kind of like seeing what can we get for the lower trims. And you can see there's a lot of high countries. There's not a lot of RSTs in my area, hardly any Z71s. Let's see what the Z71s are going for. Remember, this is four-wheel drive standard here because it's an off-road model. So we're looking over 70, 70, about the same, maybe a little bit more. You should be able to get the ventilated seats here, which is definitely a win for me where I live. All right, but guys, what like an LS and LT? LS is the lowest trim, so let's go to the LS here. You can give her $63K, $58K a burb. Guys, that's where it's at. $59K, under $60K for a Bourbon. And I know it's going to be rear-wheel drive. That's just where I live, right? South Florida, no one needs 4x4 here unless you're intentionally off-roading. No one's doing that in a Suburban where I live that I know of. So you can snap these up, guys, for under $60K for the LS. I know they have dorky 18-inch wheels, but and they don't have like the fancy suspension, but when you have that much thick of a tire, you should be able to no problem get really solid ride quality, and you'll get better fuel economy too with the smaller wheels. All right, so killer deal on the LS. Oh, let's grade the Suburban. Oh my goodness, would I put it up there with the Armada? Oh, no auto brake hold. Essentially, it could be the difference maker. You know, it's not. I don't know if it's a take my money. I love that the V8s are still available here, which is a huge draw for me. I love V8s in a big truck. So it's gonna fall between S tier and A tier for the Suburban. But the Suburban, just what the Armada doesn't have is just the insane length and cargo capacity. I do think the Suburban is S tier. You guys might call me crazy. Isn't it crazy that a General Motors built vehicle known as the Hummer EV, I could not stand that vehicle. And then we have just a simple old school body on frame V8 powered Suburban, and it's S tier. So General Motors has the capacity to make some of the most incredible vehicles as well as some of the worst vehicles. Oh my gosh, like the Traverse. Here's the thing, guys, let's look up a Traverse, because the Traverse was so just boring and vanilla compared to this. And I want to see how much a Traverse is going to cost here, guys, in comparison. About 20 grand less, but let's go ahead and let's see, like, oh, you can actually get them from 37K. That's the kind of what they're worth. I wouldn't want to spend 40,000 on a Traverse. I don't think it's a very good vehicle. Like, the 4-cylinder is not enjoyable. Doesn't mean it's not powerful. I just didn't enjoy it. It's really loud in it. And it's a big vehicle. It's just like the world's most boring vehicle to drive. All right. It's more vanilla than even the Honda Pilot. Okay. So anyways, if you're thinking of getting a Chevy 3-row, spend the extra money and get even if it's a base Suburban. It's going to be so much better than a Traverse. It's not even funny. The Suburban, as a family man with how many kids I have, I would take it over an Armada. But this S tier is not really in any particular order. What should we say about the Suburban? SUV made for families. Okay. V8. And it's getting smooth. It's getting the smooth category. It's that good. The Suburban, we don't want to get rid of it. It is such a good family vehicle. Like, I want to keep it and put tons of miles on it. And I love the V8. There's just so many. Why has it been around for decades upon decades? Because it's a winning formula. Chevy makes good trucks. They make good V8s. And when you put the two together, it's fantastic. I didn't even talk about the 10-speed auto, and I don't think once in the video, other than saying it has one. It's so smooth. All right. And it's quick enough. Other than auto brake hold, which for me is a big deal, but I just been putting it into park at our long stoplights and just using the column shifter, which I like the column shifter too. Didn't even mention that as a column shifter, which is old school. I like that. Just Suburban's great. I'll see you guys in the comments. What do you think about my thoughts on the Suburban? Yes, it can come in 8-seater too. I forgot to mention that. I showed you guys a 7-seater captain's chair model. All right. Have a great day, guys. Long live the Suburban and long live Chevy's V8. Peace.